Hey, good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, wherever you're joining us from. My name is Karthik Raghupati, and welcome to Karthik Bills. I hope all of you had a great weekend, and I hope all of you have a great week ahead. As usual, welcome to Karthik Bills. I think we are going to jump right into it, and before I do, just doing a quick check, hope ensuring my stream is working properly. Looks like I can actually hear the audio. So yeah. Hey Vijay SCSA, good morning. Good morning to this. Good morning and welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen you around here, so why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? So welcome to the stream. Really appreciate you hanging around. So before we get started today, so let me just open this up. Okay. Thank you, TC. Thanks for that confirmation. So one of the things that I'm going to be doing before we get started today is so I just noticed yesterday that so I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but there is this stream called as Lo-Fi Girl on YouTube, and they have apparently made their entire song collection copyright free, so you can put that within stream. Now I was really tempted to try that out because a lot of folks who join my stream have told me that while you are watching the stream, there might be something else that you're doing. Maybe you are coding along, or maybe you're working on something else, and kind of like just having a background song going on would be really good. I do have something to start the entire stream with, but till now I did not have some background music. So I thought, why not just go ahead and try one of these background music. So let's first try that today. I think I read it somewhere on Reddit or something like that. Live stream fail. I think this is where I had read it. I read it on Reddit. So yeah, there we go. The week is yet to start and I'm here cracking bad jokes. Sorry for that. But yes, I hope all of you had a great weekend. I'm not sure where that went. Let me just check. Yeah, this one. So basically, and I'm just posting the link in case anyone wants access to this. But basically, Lo-Fi Girl just created, set up their entire music for free. So if you are interested, you can try that out. So what we are going to do is this, for Twitch and YouTube, play the radio from our YouTube page in your stream. Credit the channel in your live stream description. I do not think I have a live stream description, but let me just check. I do have a stream going on. Can I edit stream info? Yeah, this was my go live notification, but I don't see a description per se here. Can I see a description? No. Let me just mute this, or else Is there anything that says a description, stream markers, stream information, start a rerun, manage your chat? Okay, I'm not sure where. Credit the channel in your live stream description. Okay, so I think at least today we'll just go the easier way here. But what they had mentioned is can I use your artworks in my content? Which songs can I use? Which platform can I use your music for? Can I sing or rap over your music? That's not something that we are going to do. Can I re-upload your songs on my music promotion channel? No, that's not what we are trying to do. In my library. Okay, download the music. Twitch via text or banner. This is what I'm wondering. How would I go about doing this? Now playing with the music title bot, sending the current. Okay. You know what, let's just go ahead and use the Lo-Fi Girl one. Let's go to their website, the YouTube channel. So you folks need to tell me if you can hear this music, because let me check. Hopefully you folks can hear that. Let me know if you folks are not able to hear that, but that should be some good. Hey little effect, welcome to the stream. Yeah, that's that. So we now have a nice little background to our entire stream, and hopefully that helps you folks focus on whatever you are doing and also listen to the stream as you hang around. So yep, let's get started now. So I'm going to log into my Amazon.com. There we go. Console. Let's open the tab. of people in here. Welcome to the stream today morning, and hopefully this music is better. This sound is better. Let me know, Dimitri, if this is fine. Okay, looks like I'll have to approve my login on this computer. Let's do that. There we go. Let me know if the music is too loud still. This is literally the first time that we are trying this out. If it's too loud, we'll just move to it. Okay, 20%. Okay, let me just lower this down slightly. And let me, yeah, I think I have full gain at least. So is that better? If not, maybe we could keep it like this much. This is like, let me know if that works. Okay, you can't hear now. Okay, I think let's just bring it slightly up, and maybe what we'll do is let's just increase this slightly here. Yeah, hopefully that works a little bit. Let's open up our code base and our terminal. CD projects, and so here's something that I was doing last night. I was just trying out this, and if you remember, we have been trying to run local DynamoDB on our system, and every time we had to go into the default command prompt. This time I was just looking through my old videos yesterday. So where did that go? Yeah, so when I was looking through my old videos yesterday, I noticed something on the DynamoDB local database page. Let's see. Yeah, setting up DynamoDB local. I'm not sure why this keeps happening to me. Yeah, perfect. Yes, so deploying DynamoDB locally on your computer. If you are using Windows PowerShell, be sure to enclose the parameter name or the entire name and value like this. So this is what we have been missing. So every time we had been, when we wanted to try this on the PowerShell, we would have to it did not work, so we had to go and use the command prompt. So today we are going to use the command, the PowerShell to kind of get this running. So first of all, let's run our ngrok. So ngrok on 3001 port. There we go. And now okay, D drive. Let's go to D drive. CD projects, CD DynamoDB local. There we go. And then what we are going to do here is this, right? So basically paste anyway, and oops, did this just work? Okay, let me, I think, yeah, we'll run it on port 2525. So yeah, this is what we need to do. So if you noticed, somewhere in our readme.md we had written this, right? So instead of that, we need to use this, right? So put this within double quotes. So yesterday I was just trying to upload some of my videos to YouTube, and when I was watching through some of my old videos, I realized that you know, there is this note here, and I think yesterday when I was kind of like just realizing, just when I'm looking at my videos, I just realized how oblivious I can be to things. Like I remember we tried running this on the Windows PowerShell. We tried it a couple of times, it was not working, and then I just went back to the command prompt and ran it. And when I was looking at the video, I was like, hey, look at that note there. The note is just right there. And that just didn't strike me. I'm not sure. Maybe it's because of when I'm live streaming, I'm kind of a bit conscious. But yeah, nevertheless, we just figured that out. So there we go. We don't have to now worry about a different command prompt. Let's open up the link now. Let's copy this and let's go into our developer console. Go to the endpoint, paste it, yep, and save the endpoints there. Let's reload just to ensure that we have the new endpoint. Yep, we are good. Let's go into the test option, and what we are going to do here is go and start debugging. Okay, so let's try this. Open Wordcatcher. Oh, see, I knew something was going to go wrong. Cannot do operations on a non-existent table. Why is it? Let's open up NoSQL Workbench. Like watching film for football. Definitely, little debate. Okay, so it says non-existent table. I'm not sure though. Did we do anything with the table? No, we have our logo. Interesting. Where did our table go? Huh, that is weird. Folks, just give me a couple of minutes. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Right, I'm back. Just someone at the door. Okay, this is weird. So, if we look at our DynamoDB, there is no table. I wonder where all the table went. And this is like super weird because yeah, this is super weird. You know what? Should we just so yesterday I do remember I did mess up something with my local machine. I'm not sure if that should be causing any issues. Okay, not sure that is something that I need. Cannot do operations on a non-existent table. The port is 2525. This is our table name. What is it that we are doing wrong here? Cannot do operations on a non-existent table at request.extract error. This looks like, yeah, in one of the AWS SDK. The error is in AWS SDK. So what is it that we can do really now? How do we create a table even now? I wonder what changed. Yesterday I did arrange some files around on my computer. I changed the folders and everything, but I don't remember doing anything. Okay, there is this. So I've got this shared local instance. Let's see what happens if we try to open this. Let's try and open this here. Don't open it anyway. Yeah. Looks like the table is still there. Like I can see that there is a dev Wordcatcher and everything. I wonder what is it. Why is this not working? Refresh Wordcatcher dev. Nope. The table seems to have disappeared. So let's try one thing. Let's delete this. Let's add a connection. We're going to call this as a DynamoDB local connection and port 2525. Open. Okay, how about this? Let's do one thing. Maybe we'll just stop this here, right? And let's open up command prompt. And on command prompt, cd projects / dynamodb _local _ latest. Maybe something to do with how we are running it. And let's go in here. Yeah, this is what we are going to use. Okay, this is not what I wanted. Dashboard 2525. Alright, now that we are running this, yeah, that is weird. I think I may have found a bug here. Is this a bug? When I try to run the same command on PowerShell, yeah, this is the same as in not the same command. They said that for PowerShell Yeah, for PowerShell, be sure to enclose the parameter name or the entire name and value like this, and that's what we did. Oh, should we have added a port 2525? You know, why not try that? Let's try that quickly. I know this is kind of deviating, but did I have to do like a port 2525? No, that won't work. Okay, port 2525. Now let me go and try this. Open. Yeah, for some reason this is not working in PowerShell. Maybe I'll flag that to our internal team on this. But yeah, for now I think we are going to go back to command prompt. Right? So once we go back to command prompt, this is what we are going to do. So yeah, to just summarize the issue is basically with, even though we do use the method javd library path as defined on the documentation, and we've tried port 2525 and everything else, this doesn't work. But the moment we try and run it on the command prompt, it works. So yeah, we'll figure that out later. But for now, this is our table indeed. Let's go back to the developer console now. This should work. And yeah, so what we are going to do here is let's run this. Okay. I'm still getting the same issue. No, stop debugging, start debugging. Yeah, there we go. Open Wordcatcher, and we are going to get an error for sure, but at least I don't want an error coming in from the database. You can see something's going wrong by the time it's taking to load. I'm not sure what is happening though. Are we even doing this correctly? Okay, let's reload this. Open Wordcatcher. Why is this not working straightforward? Yep. Excuse me, folks. Okay. So what is happening here is we've got a launch request and we are sending in an empty string back, and that is because it's time to set up a new set of questions for us. So let's go into the questions. I think this has to be week 25. Let's just check. I think this has to be week 25, right? Week 25, because this was working last week, so this got to be week 25, right? And run stop debugging. Open. What we are going to do here is switch off the development for the skill, the test for the skill, and then basically turn this off. This way we always get a new user ID, and this is because I've not yet figured out how to delete my user ID from here. So we are just ending up creating a lot of duplicate IDs here, but that's fine. I mean, that's like a small inconvenience, but we'll figure that out at some point, because this is definitely not scalable. We've tried Open Wordcatcher. Okay, it looks like start debugging again. Okay, there we go. Open Wordcatcher. There we go. So this is working. So far I've only made skills with Alexa hosted says little defeat. The CLI looks scary. I don't. I think you should try out this once. Little Liffit. I think the CLI does have a lot of bells and whistles, and I think Alexa hosted is pretty cool. Don't get me wrong. I think I use Alexa hosted when I want to just quickly build a skill for a prototype or something like that. It's just so easier to do it. The only reason why I kind of use CLI is after a point, once your skill gets like super big, or especially for me where I work with in my day job, I work with partners who have big skills with a lot of traffic. Alexa hosted is kind of limited in the sense that after a point you really cannot scale up on that, and that's why I kind of prefer to have my own Lambda instances, own database instances, and own API instances, and all of those things, so that I do not have to spend time on figuring out how to scale it up. So that's how I think about it. But you should definitely try out the CLI. It's not that difficult, and as usual, if you have any questions, I'm happy to help. Okay, so we are now at this point. So at this point it says, are you ready? And we say yes. So it's going to ask us for Monday question, and then we say clock, right? And do you want to take a guess at this week's theme? I'm going to say yes again.
Sunday question.
And go for time. There was a problem with the requested skills response. Okay, there seems to be some issue, and I think this keeps happening every time we do a local debugging. The debugger is just not available. I don't think this is an issue with the code per se, but let's see. So now let's scan this, and if you look at this in here, I think we're still we are on week 25, correct? So where's week 25? Scan. Where did week 25 go? Is that right? Why does this say week 24? Oh, okay. We have still not written this to the database, so I think we'll need to. Okay. We need to stop debugging, and we need to start debugging, right? And then reload this. Yeah, so you can see that we are getting the alert saying that you have answered today's question, which is kind of correct because we've answered today's daily question, but we are yet to answer this week's question. So if you come back, you should be able to answer this week's question. So here's the flow, right? I'm going to again start as a new user. So let's try this as a new user again. So let's enable this, open Wordcatcher. Yes. Clock. Yes. And time. Whoops. Okay, it looks like there is some issue with my code for sure. Not sure what's happening here though. Let's see. It's week 24. So let's open up, let's close all the other files, close to the right, database.js, update weekly answered. Okay, so we in the last stream we had this weekly answer attempt, and let's see how that works out. Update weekly answer attempt. So if the answer is correct, we send a weekly answer attempt. We pass the user ID, we pass the current week. So if it is correct, we just pass two values basically. We pass the user ID and we pass the current week, right? And we are erroring out here. I'm not sure if erroring is a word, but yeah. We are running into an error here, and it looks like okay, answer for the day captured successfully, but we are not getting okay, this is done. So it looks like there might be some issue. So you've got Sunday question, and the moment Sunday question comes in and then I say clock, I'm not even getting the request sorted out. Okay. Update weekly answer attempt, user ID, current week, .tel data, and it says something to the effect of unexpected end of JSON input. Okay, answer for the day captured successfully. Is there something that we are missing here? Okay, so this is the JSON, this is the promise, right? And this is closed up properly. Then we've got my DynamoDB item. These are closed in properly as well. Should we just put in a code, and then we have current day is equal to undefined params, table name, this is closed properly, and this is closed properly as well. Okay, let's see if that works. Run, start debugging. Okay, exit. You know what's going to happen if I do an open Wordcatcher now? It's going to say that you have answered today's question, but I've not answered today's question yet. So should I just go and first fix that? What's this here? Okay. So out here you have answered today's question. If data.item.last answered day is not equal to current day, right? This is something that we need to do. Let's try this again. Development of reload the page. Development, open Wordcatcher. Yes. Clock. Yes. This is the Sunday question, and we've gotten till this point properly, right? There was a problem with the requested skills response. Okay. What seems to be the issue? Right, so we're not even landing here, which is the weirdest part. Like, I can understand if my code is wrong here, but why are we not landing into the intent? Unexpected end of JSON input. Okay, let's see if there's something on Google for this. Unexpected end of local debugging Alexa. Local debugging Alexa. Okay. It doesn't look like. Okay. Why are we getting a 502 bad gateway? Okay, so I'm using localhost 4040 inspect, and let's look at the last request. Do you want to take a guess at this week's theme? Okay, let's do one thing. Let's clear this. Okay. And exit. So I really like this tool about ngrok. This thing about ngrok. Ngrok has this little URL which is basically localhost :4040/inspect/http, and what it basically does is it gives you like this tool which you can use to inspect your HTTP requests and your responses as well. So let's reload the page. And I hope, yeah, we need to run our debugger. Okay, let's run the debugger, and we say open Wordcatcher. Right. Okay. Oh man, I really wonder why this is not working. Yes. Block. And yes. Time.
You get 60 points. Come back tomorrow to continue your screen.
This is working now, and I did not do anything. I did not do anything, which is the weirdest part. I did not do anything to make this work. So what was that about? Oh man, did we just spend 40 minutes of our stream? This is really frustrating. Maybe I kind of feel like blame it on solar flares. I like that strategy a little bit. Yeah, maybe that's what I should do. But this is really weird. Not sure what was happening, but okay, it's working. So I guess there's no issue with my code. At least good to know about that. But we're still here, right? So what's happening now is this is our account, and we are in week 25. So I've answered week 25, right? So if I've answered week 25, so here's an issue, right? So the very first issue is that you can see that last answered day is kind of getting overridden, and this is what we wanted to fix last time, and this is because we are doing a put item here, and put item is basically overriding that. So we don't have to do a put item, we have to do a update item. Okay, now at this point I'm kind of wondering if using DynamoDB in itself was an overkill. We could kind of have gone with persistence adapter, but that's fine. We are learning all these new things about DynamoDB, and that's going to help us sometime, right? So That's interesting. So now I think what I need to do is, let's go to DynamoDB put item Node.js, right? So the AWS SDK. It's quite important to stay hydrated, folks. Drink a lot of water. Okay, so now if I understand it correctly, they've got this adapter, and so in the DynamoDB service object, right? So to access DynamoDB, create an aws.dynamodb service object, and then you basically create a JSON object containing the parameters needed to add an item. Okay, so this is the DynamoDB service object, right? But what I want to do is, and that's where the problem is, I kind of want to so there is this DynamoDB document client class. So let's first look at this. So what is difference between DynamoDB document client and I'm really bad at shortcuts. DynamoDB service client, right? So what is the difference between both of them? Keep doing this for some weird reason. Difference between Dynamo. So yeah, so there we go. So the difference between AWS SDK DynamoDB client and document client. Okay, so if you are doing, so one thing that we know for sure, and this is something that the document says, is that the DynamoDB document client simplifies working with items by abstracting the notion of attribute values. This abstraction annotates native JavaScript types supplied as input parameters, as well as converts annotated responses to native JavaScript types. So basically what it does is you don't have to do any more of these strings and numbers. So if you look at our code, even within our helper, we have put in this S here, right? We don't have to do that, right? And you can just send in like this, and this would work. Yeah, it's basically a simpler way of calling, but it looks like DynamoDB document client, the DynamoDB normal service object does not have, does it have a update item? Let's see. Okay. Put item. Okay, there we go. Update item. Okay, we do have an update item. So an update item looks like this. So basically what it does is, okay, so we can go with this, right? So what I'm going to do here is, it's okay if we don't use a document client, it's perfectly fine, right? So let's check this out. This example updates an item in the music table. It adds a new attribute and modifies the album title attribute. All of the attributes in the item as they appear after the update are returned in the response. Okay, perfect. So now what we are going to do here is expression attribute names. Right, so this is something that we need to add. So let's do that. So within parameters, so this is when we are trying to so when the answer is correct to the weekly question, right? So let's do that. Params is equal to expression attribute names. So expression attribute names. Okay. You know what? Let's just Yeah, there we go. This is slightly better. So expression attribute names colon, and we're going to put in here. Yeah, and let's put in here. So what are we looking to update? We are looking to we are not looking to update the item ID, right? We don't want to update the item ID. We just want to update the last answered week. So I'm going to call this as LAT and call this as last answered week, right? So that is hashtag LAT. Then I'm going to pass the expression attribute values. So expression attribute values. Let's put in a comma here, and then what I need to do here is colon last answered week, so colon W. I think that's fine, and then put in S. Right, I'm going to put in S, and I'm going to put in current week. So basically what we are doing is, if the answer is correct, come in here, right? So expression attribute names, last answer week, S, right? After that, so now I've gotten the expression attribute weeks. Okay, do I pause? Okay, let's see. Let's try this out. Key, and within key, let's do the user ID colon. We could just take this, right? We'll just take this string, copy this, paste it in here, and put a comma here. Never forget your comma. That's it. So we don't need the item here for sure. Okay, we need the table name, which we've got there, table name. Let's put in the update expression here. So we are going to call this as update expression colon set hashtag LAT is equal to colon W, right? So what we are going to do is, we are going to say set last answered week is equal to whatever the current week value is, because you've answered this week, and where user ID is equal to user ID. I kind of believe like this is how this is supposed to work, but we'll just check. That looks like it. Maybe we'll just put in return. Okay, let's put in return values all underscore new. Okay, we'll get all the new values, that's fine. And what we need to do here is my DynamoDB dot update item. So instead of using a document client, we are going back to using the service object itself. So I think that's fine. I mean, I do not specifically it's okay having this. Maybe I could have done this in a better way, in the sense that if we had used the document client, we wouldn't have to deal with all these S's and everything, strings basically, but that's fine. That's not that big a problem for now. And the good thing about this is all of this is wrapped within a wrapper, so we can, if we want to change it tomorrow, we can just change it. There might be some minor changes that we might have to do here, but it's okay. Okay, so now what happens if the answer is wrong? So let's just copy this as is. I think we need the expression attributes. Okay, let's copy this as is, come in here, and okay, paste it, right? So okay, so this time we have to give the last answered week as well as the attempt as well. So So basically recording when did they try to answer unsuccessfully to the question, right? So that's what we are trying to do here. So let's do hashtag 80, okay, and we'll call this as attempt, right? Is n of, what is it, current day, right? So that is what we are doing. So expression attribute values, key is user ID, right? We don't need this item anymore, so let's just delete it, and we'll need the return values. Let's paste it as is, right? So we got all new, we got table name, and set hash lady is equal to w, comma, hash 80 is equal to a, right? So this is what we are doing now, and this is all supposed to get updated. Let's see if that works. Let's go back here, let's stop the debugger, and let's go back here and come in here, disable the database, reload this, okay, enable this again, open Wordcatcher. Okay, this is not going to work because I have not yet started. No, run, start debugging. Oops, yeah, we get this debug console. Okay, let's do open Wordcatcher again. Okay, there we go. Yes. Monday question is clock. Do you want to guess? Yes, I want to take a guess at this week's time, and let's just put in time here. Okay, now let's look in here. So now, yeah, so if you see this, we've got this new one. We've got today's answer, which is 165, but you can also see that the last answered week is now not getting overridden. So this is week 25, right? So I have answered week 25. I have answered the weekly puzzle, and I have answered the daily puzzle as well for 165, right? So if I come back tomorrow, it's going to say that, hey, 166, right? So this is how we are going to kind of use it to track the answers. Okay, now let's just see if the other part is working, where if you answer it incorrect, right? Let's see if that is working now. I'm going to go ahead and switch off the tool, reload this, and try and enable this again. Open Wordcatcher again. Okay. Let's just try and run this again. Open Wordcatcher. Yeah, there we go. Let's say yes, and I'll say clock. So I'm giving the right answer for today's question, and I'm going to give the wrong answer, right? So I'm going to give the wrong answer, and that's going to be clock, right? Oh man, I'm not sure why this keeps happening though. And the problem is I need to fix a bug at the top, otherwise it just doesn't take this properly. So Open Wordcatcher again. This is not going to work. Kind of feel like this is the issue, right? There is this. I'm not sure why this is happening though. Maybe we'll need. It looks like the local debugging fails certain times with end of JSON input. Maybe something to do with the script that we are using. Let's see. Okay.
Welcome to Wordcatcher.
Yes.
Monday question.
Monday question is going to be clock.
That is the correct
Do you want to
answer.
take a guess at this week's theme? Yes. Please don't die down on me. Okay. I'm going to say clock again. Please don't die down on me. There we go.
That was
Yeah.
not the right answer.
Yeah, so now we can say that Alexa says that was not the right answer, but that's fine. You'll get another chance till Sunday. But now let's come in here and let's scan this. And there we go. So you can see today I've answered today's question correctly. I tried to attempt this week's answer, and you can see that my attempt here is 1, which means I tried and answering the weekly question on Monday, and it said and I gave the wrong answer. So it's kind of like at this point I cannot try the weekly answer till Tuesday, right? So yeah, that's, we kind of built this. If all of this is looking a bit confusing to you, I know that I'm not kind of simplified this. So, but happy to explain what I'm trying to build here in detail if any of this confuses you folks. Okay, so now, so what we need to do now is we need to kind of change the logic up top, and by up top I'm talking about this specific part where what's happening is so far what we did was, if the user tries to come back, so basically let's say I tried to answer today's question and I came back and it just says at this point, hey, you've answered today's question, right? So what we are doing here is we are capturing this last answered day. So today's last answered day for this user is 165. So today is day 165 of the year. So it's going to see if the user's current day is not equal to current day. So today is 165. So it's always going to land in here, and it's going to say, hey, sorry, it's not going to land in here because it's equal, right? So what we are going to do here is something, so this is what it does, right? This code block, it basically says that if you have answered today's question, right? If you have not answered today's question, I'm going to serve you that question for today, right? That is what this entire code is about. But if you have, then we need to figure out something here. So we need to do something here. So first of all, we need to do data.item dot last answered week of S. So if I've answered the weekly question, right? So if I've answered this week's question as well, then I'm not going to ask them for, if I answered this week's question, I kind of am going to say that, hey, how is this supposed to work? So here's how that is supposed to work. If I've answered this week's question, I'm going to say, hey, you've answered today's question, and you answered this week's question. So no more questions for you. Come back tomorrow. That's what we are going to say, right? But if I have not, or I'm just wondering. And I'm just thinking out loud here. We've gotten the attempt for this week. What does that mean? Why are we capturing that? We know that the user tried and answering the question on Monday, right? If they've answered the question today, Interesting. What do we do here? I'm just wondering if the attempt, what do we do with the attempt here? Kind of the last time I was thinking, when I introduced the attempt key, my reasoning behind that was to kind of capture of the user. Oh yeah, so what's going to happen is, let's say I have answered today's question, but I have not yet answered this week's question, right? And I have not even taken one attempt at it. In that case, I'm going to need this. So what I'm going to do here is, if data.item. So let's do this. So I'm going to say, so let's do this, right? So where current week is equal to get current day or week. Oops. Okay. Week, right? What we are going to do here is, if data.item.last answered week is equal to current week, right? So if I answer this week's question and data.item.attempt, right? That's the name of the key, attempt of n is equal to, for the time being, let's just put this as 1, right? So what this means is, I have answered this week's question correctly, but I have yeah, we are going to land in here for sure. Okay, let's see, console.log. Here we are inside line 49. Okay, I know this is just a console.log. Let's get the current week. Current week is plus current week, right? And console.log of attempt is data.item.attempt of n, right? This is what it is. Okay, let's stop debugging and let's hope this works. I hope this works. Please work. Alright. So I'm going to say open Wordcatcher. And what's happening this time? Okay, it says you have answered today's question, but that's fine. But if you notice, yeah, we are entering in here, so which means, right, so this code is working for us. So what we are going to do is, if you answered, yeah, so let's do this, right? So we don't need all these things. Current day, I think there was a code for current date somewhere down here. Day.get day, today.get day, yeah, there we go. Maybe we could have just wrapped this inside some function as well, because we are using this so many times, but we'll clean up the code at a later point. So okay, current day is equal to current day dot to string. Let's convert this into a string, and let's change this to current day, right? And then we basically say yeah. So okay, let's take a small pause here. So if I've answered this week's question, if I've tried to attempt this week's question, then I'm going to say, hey, you answered today's question, right? I'm going to say, you have answered today's question. Or I don't want to say you answered today's question, but basically say something to the effect of, your gameplay for today has ended, right? Yeah, or we could say that you have tried and answered today's question. That's fine. But now, let's say if this is not correct, which means basically I've tried, I only answered today's question, but I've not answered the weekly question. Then I should get a chance to answer the weekly question, right? So in that case, what we are going to do now is, let's bring in the weekly question logic here. Yeah, so in here, what we need to do here is, let's do this. Copy, right? Control V. Okay. There we go. Let's make this as weekly, right? And I don't think we need hint used, but let's figure that out. And then what we are going to do here is speak output plus equal to So if I just come back here, I think this is where we kind of bring this weekly question here. Right, so we'll just need to call this weekly question for the day, and this basically returns the weekly mode. Right, so it's going to get the weekly question. So this is what we're going to do. Okay, yeah, there we go. Let's get all this right, and what we're going to do here is, yeah, I don't think we need this specifically, but do we need it? I think we do. Oh yeah, I think, oh yeah, okay. Here's what we're going to do. Okay, so the question mode is going to be weekly. We are going to say something to the effect of, you have, and we'll clear this out later on. So you have answered today's question. Would you like to take a shot at this week's theme? Right, so basically that's what we are going to ask the customer, that hey, you answered today's question, but would you like to take a shot at this week's theme? Right, yeah, and then the customer says yes, and then they go into the yes intent handler, and then basically the weekly trigger falls in. Okay, let's hope this works. I kind of feel like this should work, but well, start debugging. So here's what I need to do. I need to go back in here. Let's switch off the testing mode, and let's turn this on again. Open Wordcatcher. Yes.
Monday question.
Clock.
There was a problem with the requested
Okay,
skills
what happened
response.
now? This is weird. I hate this issue. I'm not sure why I would get this. Open Wordcatcher. Oh, you know what?
There was a problem with the requested.
I need to run the debugging again. Start debugging. Right. Open Wordcatcher. Yes.
Monday question.
Clock.
That is
Okay.
the correct answer.
Now, do you want to take a guess at this week's theme? I'm going to say no.
This week's theme.
I'm going to say stop. Let's just say stop. Right? So the game stops.
There was a problem communicating
What
with the
is
requested skill.
this? Okay. We'll need to figure that out. Let's say exit. Exit should work. Okay. Now, let's open Wordcatcher again. So what's happened is, now we've run into error. Index.js 5051, 50 and 51. Oh, you know what? Cannot read property S of undefined. That's correct, because now, because I just said stop, because I said stop, what's happened is we do not have this. Okay, if you just see, we got this user here, but we do not have week 25 and attempt in here. Right? So it's going to be undefined. I have not answered it this week. So how do we handle that? So do we just put in here if it's not undefined? Yeah, I think we could do this, right? If data dot item dot, we could change it like this, okay, is undefined. If this is undefined, right, let me just look at this, right? If this is undefined, then we ask them for this week's question, right? If this is undefined, of course, okay. Yeah, what else could be the case? If you have answered this week's question, doesn't matter if you have answered it correctly or, yeah, I think if it is undefined, yeah, I think that is what we needed to do. If it was undefined, and when would it be undefined? Either you said stop in the first play, and so basically it gets the last answered week sets only when you have answered the weekly question, right? So it doesn't matter if you answered correctly or wrong. Yeah, so I think this should be fine. We don't need to do all this logic on if the attempt is needed. Yeah, I think if it's undefined, it's undefined, right? Because if I've tried and answered the question, oh, you know what? I kind of sense there might be some issue with this when we kind of, so like tomorrow when you come back and you have, that's when I think this is going to cause a problem. So what's going to happen is you've tried and attempted this week's question on Monday, but when you come back on Tuesday, it's going to say that, hey, do you want to take a shot at this week's theme, right? But let's just try for this, okay? Stop debugging, start debugging again. Let's just reload it. Open Wordcatcher. Why does it say cannot read property S of undefined? Oh, you know what? Do I need to just remove this? Because last answer week is not defined at all. Open Wordcatcher. Yeah, so that's working. You have answered today's question. Would you like to take a shot at this week's theme? Yes, why not? And then we get Sunday question. And then we answer clock. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, it has to be. It's time. That's fine. But now, I kind of feel like tomorrow when we go back. So, if you just look at this, yeah, 165. Okay, wait. What is our user ID now? Maybe we'll just check. VHA, right? And I think this is VHA. Yeah, so you can see 165 last answered week is week 25 and the attempt is 1, which means we have unsuccessfully attempted a question for Monday, right? But if I come back tomorrow, what should happen is I should first get the 166th question, which is the question for tomorrow, and then also tell the user that, hey, do you want to attempt today's question, because the last time this week's question, because the last time you tried to attempt it was on Monday and you answered it incorrectly. So that's what we are trying to do. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for today. Let me just take a minute, and we've got to do a couple of stuff here. We made a lot of changes, so I'm going to git commit this. All of this is available on my GitHub code. So if you want to look at my terrible code and want to give in pull requests, you are more than welcome. So that's on my GitHub. The link should be in my Twitch, or it's the same username, github.com/pkarthika. What did we do so far? Updated DynamoDB, updateItem, method. Okay, git push origin master. There we go. We get a nice little green box for our commit, and let's just open up our work log. Yeah, so we write the logic in such a way that weekly answer does not override database row. This is done. So today is what, 6:14. So on 6:14, that's what we worked on. We worked on writing the logic in such a way that the weekly answer does not override database row, and hey, Arga Suknesib, how are you holding up through the pandemic? I'm doing good. I hope you are doing good, and welcome to the stream. And yeah, I hope you are staying safe as well, Arga Suknesib. Appreciate you hanging out here. Write the logic in such a way that the weekly answer does not override database row, but that's not the only thing that we did. We also worked on the weekly, the weekly and the daily answer check, right? So that's something that we did. So if a user comes back and tries all this, it's somewhat working at this point. What we are planning, I think we need to just clean this up slightly so that the entire experience works flawlessly. So basically, if you just come back and you have answered that day's question, it asks you that week's question, and it will only ask you once. So that's something. And I think at some point we will start doing the GameOn SDK as well, hopefully this week. I think that's pretty much it for today. I'm happy with the progress that we've made so far. Like I said, all of this code is on github.com/pkarthika. And if you missed some of these if you missed what I'm building in here and you want to go and get all of those things, you can go to my Twitch channel, and let me just get this for you. There is this YouTube link. Let me just put this. I'm uploading all these videos in here, so make sure you go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you get you can go back and look at all the previous videos of this specific game that we are building. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone joining in here. TC Lu, Little Defeat, Dimitri, Vijay, SCSA, Arga Suknesib. Really appreciate all of you hanging around here and checking out my stream. Well, that's it for today. Tomorrow we are going to continue work on building this skill again. So I hope to see you folks tomorrow. And yeah, thanks for staying around. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.